to see you. Hello friends, it's really good to have you with me today. This is the last part 3, to What's on My iPad. Now we did page 1, page 2, and now we're going to do page 3 and 4 together. So, at the top you see these 2 GIF keyboards. I am obsessed with GIFs or GIFs. I say GIFs. I think they just convey all kinds of emotion that you cannot put into words, and I am one of these people that quote movie quotes day in, day out. Like if somebody says something even remotely related to a film, I will have the quote there instantly, and GIFs, whatever, are like the visual representation of that. So I love GIFs, and my GIF game is totally on point. It's like me and my other half have pages of just GIFs, responding to the one before and the one after, and it's just it's so cool. So here we have just Google. I'm actually going to delete that because I don't actually use it. I don't know why it's there. This is my Google Calendar, which I use for my work, non-ASMR related. Google Maps, always handy to have, even though I use the Apple one. This sometimes is a lot more user-friendly or more detailed. Kindle, I very, very rarely use this. I have it just because, I downloaded it once and I downloaded some books, but you know what, I'm just gonna delete it. IMDb Pro, this is what I use for work. It's really handy to see the contact details for people that you need to contact for, the films that I produce and stuff. You do have to pay for it, but it's totally worth it. Numbers and pages I don't use on my iPad, and I very rarely use them on my MacBook. I do use pages on my MacBook, so I'm going to keep that there, but I'm actually going to I'm going to keep that on there, because sometimes you never know if you're going to just get a random spreadsheet sent to you, so I keep it there. This is my Patreon dashboard, and this is where I can post things and, chat to you guys on there. This is for my Whisper Audios Patreon account, and it's a little bit limited on an iPad. You can do more on a computer, but I keep it on there just in case I have to quickly reply to somebody. This is my Vimeo account. This is where I post the Whisper Audios Patreon and YouTube membership only videos, because it's the only private place I can do it without people downloading them and ripping them to the internet. I had a lot of trouble with that. Maybe 2 years ago, I was creating some content, some Patreon only content, and then it was finding its way on YouTube for everybody to see. And although I wasn't too mad about it, I was mad for the patrons who had paid for that, and one patron just ruined it for everybody. So I found Vimeo to be the best option in that case, because you have private links and stuff like that. Now Now this is an app which is actually really interesting. It's called Slack, and basically it is an online office, I guess. Well, you basically have like topics that you create, and you can invite like team members to come and chat about it. You can upload documents there and talk through like work processes and stuff. It's like a kind of like Monday sort of an app. It's like a workspace sort of thing, and we use it for pre-production on our films because you can create all different categories, so like art department, music, camera department, production, script, casting, and all your team members can comment, and we can keep an online diary of where we're at with each of the certain categories, so that's really, really helpful. This is my Right Move app, which is my retail, commercial property, property browsing. And what I like to do is pretend that I have like loads of money, and I look at all the really, really expensive houses that are for sale around where I live, and I pretend that I live there and what I would do to each of the rooms, and I look around and think, oh, I'd have so-and-so here, or I would have so-and-so there. So it's a little bit of a fantasy for me, but in all honesty, I do actually look for houses, that potentially could buy once I have enough money saved up. Unfortunately, they are all really, really awful because I can only afford to save up enough for like a really cheap, crappy house. But such is the way of life right now, and I probably won't even get to that point for another 5 years yet. But keep trying, right? This is an app called Widgetsmith, which I'm actually going to delete because I don't use it. It's basically like you can create big widgets for your iPad, but honestly I haven't really had time to look at it, and I can't be bothered with it right now. This is the Tasty app. I actually really like these recipes. I see them like all the time on YouTube. I see them all the time on Facebook. So I went ahead and I downloaded the app and just like saved a bunch of recipes, but the internet isn't working here, so we won't look at that. This is Variety. Some of you may have heard of this. This is the, I guess, film industry newspaper, and basically it just gives you a whole bunch of I don't know why I have to do this. It doesn't tilt round for some reason, but it basically just gives you all the headlines of industry news. So it's really helpful for my job. This is my BBC Good Food account, and I don't think... No. So I have a bunch of saved recipes on my Alexa, but for some reason they haven't translated over to my Good Food app here. But I find a lot of recipes using this Good Food app, BBC, and I really, really like it. So the last page. This is a really cool app that I found. It's a little bit hit and miss, but it's called Civilizations AR, Augmented Reality basically you have to basically find a surface and like it scans it, and then it like will put an artifact in that space for you to have a look at, and you can like turn it around and like look closer on it, and it's quite cool because it's like sitting there in your living room. But it won't work in here because it's such a small space. You need to have quite a large space. Next we have Google Arts and Culture, and I discovered this over lockdown, and it's a really cool app which basically shows you, if it will load, it shows you so much stuff, like honestly, from like paintings to museums to, you know, views around the world, some cool little interactive things. What's your favorite color? What is my favorite color? That's, you know, that teal was really inspiring. So yeah, you know, it's really cool because it kind of gives you stuff that you don't really know you want, and you can explore so much stuff. You know, explore Edinburgh Castle in 3D, and I think most of this has been kind of cultivated because of lockdown. You know, explore museums from home, all this kind of surrealist stuff. So yeah, I really like it, and I spend a lot of time looking at this. I just kind of get lost in it. Daily art, you all know that because I do videos on daily art. Let's see what it is today. So Monday the 12th of April we've got Hercules and Linnaean Hydra. Linnaean Hydra. But we'll come to that later. This is the Louvre app, which I downloaded through lockdown. I've actually been to the Louvre, and it was amazing, really amazing place to go. And I downloaded the app to have a look at all the paintings and, you know, jog my memory of the ones I saw and didn't see, and so on and so forth. And hopefully one day we'll explore this app together on this channel. Next we have the Kings and Queens app, which you are all familiar with now, I'm sure. I love this app. It's just so fascinating to learn about all the kings and queens that have been, and I learned a lot about it when I was at school, so it's very nostalgic for me. Next we have an app which I really want to explore with you guys soon. It's called Today in History. So you can pick any date that you want. So let's take my birthday, for instance, 17th of November. Let's refresh it. Okay, so the internet's really bad here. I apologise, but normally you have little screen shots, little thumbnails of what's going on. So basically, on the 17th of November, from 1887 all the way to modern day, you get, you know, historical events that have taken place. So when I was born in 1989, so on the 17th of November 1989, when I was born, the Cold War Velvet Revolution begins in Czechoslovakia. A student demonstration in Prague is quelled by riot police. This sparks an uprising aimed at overthrowing the communist government. It succeeds on the December 29th. And if you click on it, you can actually, you know, click on other things, which takes you to Wikipedia, and you can learn more about each of the main points of that 17th, 1989, Ryan Griffin, American football player, was born. So me and him share a birthday and are the same age. And who died? This is the little Grim Reaper symbol down here. And it will show you who died on November the 17th, November the 17th, I keep saying that, 1989. Who died in 1989. So, on my birthday, the day I was born, November the 17th, 1989, Constable Faraz, who was an American criminal who was born in 1960, died. You could probably click on him and find out. So that's a really fun app. And hopefully one day I'll get round to, we'll do some key dates. Google Earth. Oh, I love this app because like you can type in any sort of landmark. You can probably hear the interference now coming from the internet. Oh my goodness, what was the last thing I was looking at? I think this is Egypt. Yeah, so I was looking at the Sphinx of Giza. Let's put my little man. Can we put my little man down? No. Sure. Good. No. Okay. So I wanted to put him here so we can look at the Sphinx, but it doesn't want to do it. So I've been using this in lockdown to explore the world, and Egypt was one of the places we were meant to go. Oh, it was like 2 or 3 years ago. We were planning to go on like a guided tour of Egypt, but that kind of got postponed, definitely. So yeah, that is Google Earth. Hopefully that interference is gone. Now, this app is fantastic when it works. This is the ISS Live Now, the International Space Station. It never works, but when it does, you can see what is basically happening from the International Space Station, and it's a live feed, and you'll be able to see the Earth and the world from space. Like I say, it does not work most of the time. Down here you have all different sort of pre-recorded stuff, but when it works, it is fantastic because I lose myself just looking at the slow progress of the space station, but I just get totally lost, and it's quite hypnotizing to see the world moving slowly beneath you in real time. Like, that's where we live. We're just floating in space. So yeah, when it works, it's amazing, but when it doesn't, it's frustrating. So here we have my adult colouring book, which it's okay. I mean, it's the only really good free one that I have found. And the thing with it is that you need internet connection. But the thing with it is that it's not actually, you can't like colour like this. It's, you touch it and it fills with colour. So it's, like I say, it's okay, but it's not perfect. This is my books app. This is the last thing I was reading for you guys on this channel. And I have all my books ready for you for more inaudible reading. And also let me know if you want me to do just whispered book reading, like chapter to chapter. It might take me a little bit of time, but I'm happy to do it if there's need, if there's a desire for it. Now this, I will have to turn this on. This is Etymology Online. And for all of those of you who don't know etymology is. It's basically the origin of words. And my friend actually kind of helped me to discover love for the meaning of words and where they came from. And I've kind of downloaded this app and I've been kind of looking at things to search. So let's search for something. Let's search for camera. Camera is a noun, and the origin is from 1708. It meant vaulted building, arched roof or ceiling. From Latin camera, a vault or vaulted room. Another source is also Italian camera, Spanish camara, French chambre, from Greek camara, vaulted chamber, anything with an arched cover, which is of uncertain origin. A doublet of chamber, an old church Slavonic kamora, Lithuanian kamara, old Irish camera, all are borrowings from Latin. The word also was used from 18th century as a short form of modern Latin camera obscura, which we'll look back, known as the dark chamber, which was a black box with a lens that could project images of external objects, contrasted with camera lucida, which is 1750 Latin for light chamber, which uses prisms to produce on paper beneath the instrument an image which can be traced of a distant object. The sense was expanded to become the word for picture-taking device used by photographers, a modern modification of the camera obscura when modern photography began in 1840. The word was extended to television filming devices from 1928. Camera shy is attested from 1890 and cameraman is from 1908. So you can see how fascinating that is. And yeah, so this is just basically like an online dictionary, of any sort of word that you want to put in, and you just type it in there and see how it kind of came about. So that's really, really cool. So we finally come to the end of what is on my iPad, and I will link links to part 1 and 2 down in the description so you can check those out. And all of these apps, if you just go into for me it's the Apple App Store, and you can just type these in and you'll be able to find them, I'm sure. So yeah, I hope you have found this to